What'd you say?
Matt Malloy.
Matt Malloy.
I'm a sophomore.
All right. Don't be afraid to speak up, Matt. Go ahead.
I'm going to be doing an interview with you today.
You're going to be trying. I understand that.
My father went there. My grandmother and grandfather worked there for years. And my 5 older brothers went there.
I never thought anything different than going to Mount Carmel.
I actually shadowed Carmel twice and ended up liking it both times.
I've been around the Carmelites since I was born. I was walking through the halls of Mount Carmel from the time I was 3.
First question is, what drew you to Mount Carmel?
I actually didn't start at Mount Carmel. I went to the Carmelite Seminary my freshman year.
I actually went to St. Rita into Mendel Catholic to talk to them about going there, right, as part of the recruitment process. But it was kind of just a joke because it was never a doubt that I was going to Mount Carmel.
You know, Mount Carmel was our life. My grandmother worked at Mount Carmel for many years, and my father was a very loyal Carmel person.
The team stuff was always fun. I don't think I got a lot of very appropriate stories.
There's a lot of memories. It is the people you meet, there's no question about it. I went to St. Barnabas Grammar School, as we all did. And there was only 2 other kids from St. Barnabas that went to Mount Carmel. I didn't know anybody. I got into the intramural boxing program. And the first kid I met in the boxing ring was Frank Lenti. We've been friends for 50 plus years.
I really got sick of going to wrestling matches. The best that I remember is, of course, the 68. So we were always, if there was a Carmel football game, we probably were at it.
Ben Hogan, I think, to make the Carmel guys interested in this literature was a difficult task. So what he would do, he would take something like, Catcher in the Rye, J.D. Salinger's Catcher in the Rye, and he would say, okay, Duffy, start reading it, paragraph, whatever. And I'd start reading it, and then all of a sudden there'd be this real salacious material in there, and boom, everybody's head would pop up, and they'd go, that's in that book, And so by reading class, he'd make everybody interested in this book.
Which teacher issued the most jugs to you?
Well, people might not believe this, but I did not get that many jugs.
No one in my family's going to believe this, but I never ate jugs once.
I don't believe it.
Yeah.
I know this sounds blasphemous. I don't know if I ever received a jug.
I actually never had any jug.
It's hard with teachers. It goes both ways. The ones you thought were the toughest when you were there are kind of the ones you remember with the greatest respect afterwards.
Which teacher, coach, or staff members was most influential during your 4 years at Mount Carmel?
Like all the football coaches, Coach Anto, Coach Minogue, Coach Nolan.
In my last year of Jay Struble, he wrestled at Mount Carmel with my brothers. Then he wrestled at Loris. He got me to go to Loris. I met my wife at Loris. So we'll say he had the biggest impact on me.
Dan LeCount, Mr. LeCount, I always worked with him. He was such a great help.
It's not really fair to rule out people because there's so many. In the Gashua it was geometry, and Wally Koza was algebra, and Charlie Scanlon was history. I mean, there's all these great teachers there that have influenced me then and have continued since then. Father Gavin is one of them, Father Gavin Quinn. And since then, he has remained a great friend of the family. He witnessed most of our marriages. He's baptized many of the children. He buried my dad. So he's been a great friend of the family and has had a huge influence on me when I was in school and since then.
But Father Gavin, Father Bob Carroll, Father Lee, Father Dylan, there's just so many priests that were involved and had such a good impact on me, I'm sure, and others. Wally Colza, Mr. Smith, Mr. Oshaway, Jay Struble, Joey Gilbert, just so many. And coaches, Ron Sesniak, Bill Bars, really helped many young men, so they did a very good job.
I paid for all my own Mount Carmel tuition and all my own college, working for Matt Smith in the concession stands down on the Chicago Lakefront. And it's the same story with at least 5 out of 7 of my brothers.
Frank Maloney was the head football coach at Mount Carmel when I was there. Helped me get into the University of Michigan, and then he was a defensive line coach at the University of Michigan. So I became very close to Frank and his family, and he was very influential in my life.
I was so impressed. It was Coach Ernstrom. It was a year before he passed away, and he was a football coach, but he was also a science teacher, and he was such an impressive individual. And then Coach Antonetti. What an intelligent guy. You know, reeks charisma and everything. He just jumped right out at you.
Carmel, as well as my father, and many of the people I met at Mount Carmel, the priests and the brothers and others, taught me a couple of things. To be truthful, to be blunt, to be a man. They have a certain amount of courage of your convictions, you know. You don't give up your thoughts or your ideals or your objectives just because somebody else doesn't like it.
How do you want to see the Mount Carmel community support the mission of Mount Carmel?
There's just so many different people that I come across, and they always usually impress when you tell them you went to Mount Carmel. That it is a good school, you get a good education, you get a good start. So I'd like to keep, basically seem to keep doing the same thing, keep moving and stay open forever.
I want them to give a hell of a lot of money to Mount Carmel. Some people can give a little, some people can give a lot, so that we can continue the mission of Mount Carmel for the coming years. And I want them to help get the enrollment at Mount Carmel up to some of the historical highs that it's been in the past. I want them to help by caring, and I want them to be ambassadors for Mount Carmel wherever they go. The most significant thing about it to me is that if you are given something in life, A, you should be thankful, and B, you should figure out how to make some payback.